Forget what you think you know about Cambodia. For most people, the story begins and ends with Angkor Wat. The sun rises over those iconic temple spires, you snap the photo, and you tick the box. But that's like judging a masterpiece by its frame. It's a beautiful, essential part of the picture, sure, but it's not the whole story. The real Cambodia, the one that gets under your skin and stays with you, doesn't live on a postcard. It lives in the back alleys, down the dusty red dirt roads, in the hiss of a hot wok at a roadside stall, in the quiet smiles of people who have seen it all, still here, still cooking, still laughing. This is a country with a heart that beats loud if you just know where to listen. The soul of a place isn't found in a guidebook. It's found in the places where life happens, unscripted and raw. It's in the markets where the air is thick with the smell of lemongrass, galangal, prahok, that fermented fish paste. It's in the villages where time seems to slow down, governed not by clocks but by the rhythm of the monsoons and the harvest. These are the places the tour buses don't go. These are the spots where you trade a few words with a fisherman mending his net, share a lukewarm beer with a farmer at the end of a long day, and discover that the greatest monuments aren't always made of stone, they're made of moments. Deep in the northwest, near the Thai border, lies a temple that time, war, and jungle have tried to swallow whole. Bante Chmar, the citadel of cats, is what Angkor Wat might have been without the crowds and the restoration crews. Here, giant smiling faces of Avalokiteshvara, eerily similar to those at Bayon, emerge from crumbling walls covered in moss, and tangled in the relentless grip of strangler figs. Getting here is a commitment, a long, bumpy ride over unpaved roads. But that's the point. The journey filters out the casual tourist, leaving you with a sprawling, atmospheric ruin that feels like your own private discovery. It's a place for quiet contemplation, not for selfies. The temple was built in the 12th century by King Jayavarman VII, the same prolific builder behind Angkor Thom and Ta Prohm. What makes this place truly special is the community. The locals, descendants of the people who have lived in the shadow of these stones for generations, are your guides, your hosts, and your cooks. Through a community-based tourism project, you can arrange a homestay in a traditional wooden house on stilts. You eat what they eat, simple, fragrant Khmer curries, grilled river fish, and rice fresh from the surrounding paddies. High above the plains of Siem Reap, rising like a sacred island from a sea of rice paddies, is Phnom Kulen. For Cambodians, this is the most sacred mountain in the country. This is where the Khmer Empire was born. The mountain's most extraordinary secret lies in its riverbed, Kabal Speen, often called the River of 1,000 Lingas. For centuries, the water has flowed over hundreds of yoni and linga, Hindu fertility symbols carved to sanctify the water and bless the lands below. Walking through the shallow stream, feeling the cool water rush over these ancient carvings, is a surreal and deeply spiritual experience. A short hike leads you to a massive, reclining Buddha, carved into the top of a huge sandstone boulder housed in a small, active pagoda. Everyone's heard of Koh Rong, the party island, but a short boat ride away is its quieter, more introspective sister, Koh Rong Sanlom. And even on this more tranquil island, there's a place that feels like a secret whispered among backpackers and locals, Mapai Bai. Mapai Bai is a functioning fishing village with a bohemian ramshackle charm. The main road is a sandy path that winds between simple guest houses, dive shops, and local homes. Weather-beaten fishing boats bob in the turquoise water, their long-tail motors silent for the afternoon. Dogs sleep in patches of shade. The vibe is slow, unhurried, and utterly relaxed. You come here not for the luxury, but for the lack of it. You come here to disconnect from the world and reconnect with a simpler rhythm of life, dictated by the tides and the sun. When you think of Kampot, you probably think of pepper, the world's best, they say. But there's another treasure: salt. Just outside the charming riverside town, vast flat fields stretch to the horizon, shimmering under the Cambodian sun. These are the Kampot salt fields. For generations, local farmers have practiced the ancient art of salt production here, a painstaking process that relies on the sun, the sea, and incredible patience. A landscape of stark geometric beauty, shallow pans glittering like mirrors. Workers, covered from head to toe, rake delicate salt crystals. They shape conical piles, small white pyramids across the fields, harvested and taken to rustic, thatch-roofed warehouses. A tradition passed through families, tied to the land. This isn't just salt, it's the white gold of Cambodia, known for a pure, clean flavor. A Khmer kitchen staple used to make prahok, to season soups, to create ubiquitous dipping sauces. There's no other ride like it in the world. In the countryside outside Battambang, Cambodia's second largest city, you'll find the Nori. It's better known to foreigners as the bamboo train. This isn't a train in any conventional sense. It's a simple bamboo platform about the size of a double bed set on two sets of steel wheels, powered by a small gasoline engine. Think a lawnmower engine with attitude. When two Noris meet on the single track, the one with the lighter load is quickly disassembled, lifted off the tracks to let the other pass, and then reassembled in under a minute. It's a beautiful, unwritten rule of the rails, a dance of cooperation that happens without a word. The journey itself is a sensory overload. You clatter through stunning rural landscapes, past endless emerald green rice paddies, waving children, grazing water buffalo. The wind whips your hair, the engine roars, and the clickety-clack of the steel wheels is a hypnotic, bone-jarring rhythm. Up the Mekong River, far from the tourist hubs of Siem Reap and Phnom Penh, lies the sleepy town of Krabi. It's a charming place with crumbling French colonial architecture and a languid riverside pace of life. People don't come here for temples or nightlife. They come for a glimpse of something rare, the Irrawaddy dolphin, one of the few places in the world to see them, with bulbous heads and enigmatic smiles. You hire a small wooden boat in Campi 15 kilometers north of Krabi. The boatman cuts the engine as you near deep pools, and then you wait. The only sound is water gently lapping the boat. A soft puff of air, a smooth gray back arches out of the water for a fleeting moment. A subtle, profound encounter, far from a marine park. In the remote, rolling hills of Mondulkiri, you'll find a different side of the country. This is the Wild East, pine forests, cascading waterfalls, cool mountain air. It's home to the Bunong people with a deep spiritual bond to the land and animals. Mondulkiri is the kingdom of the Cambodian elephant. Not elephant rides. Those are increasingly seen as unethical. This is meeting elephants on their own terms. Ethical sanctuaries like Elephant Valley Project call this province home. Elephants that spent years in logging or giving rides to tourists are now retired. They roam freely through natural habitats, socialize, forage, and just be elephants. Visitors don't ride. You hike through the jungle, observe from a respectful distance as they bathe in the river or tear leaves from a bamboo grove. Hidden deep within the Cardamom Mountains, one of Southeast Asia's largest remaining rainforests, is the community of Chi Phat. This isn't a place you stumble upon by accident. Reaching it involves a journey by road and then a longboat ride up the Pho River, a winding artery that leads you into the heart of the jungle. Thanks to a pioneering community-based ecotourism project, Chi Phat has transformed itself into a model of conservation, with former poachers now working as expert jungle guides. The entire village is your hotel. You can choose a simple homestay with a local family, sharing their meals and their daily life. The goal is to ensure that the money from tourism flows directly back to the people, giving them a sustainable alternative to destroying the forest they call home. The guides, who once set snares for tigers and bears, now lead you on treks to find rare orchids and shy gibbons. The activities on offer are a true immersion in nature. You can take multi-day treks deep into the jungle, sleeping in hammocks at remote campsites near ancient burial jar sites and hidden waterfalls. At night, you can join a patrol to look for nocturnal creatures like the civet or the loris. In its heyday, Kep was the glitzy coastal playground for the French colonial elite and wealthy Khmers. Their crumbling modernist villas, now ghostly shells overgrown with vines, hint at a glamorous past. But the real beating heart of Kep today isn't in those ruins. It's down by the water, at the famous crab market. Here, the star of the show is the Kep blue crab, renowned for its sweet, delicate meat. Women wade out into the shallow water to pull up bamboo baskets or traps that have been sitting on the seafloor. They bring their wriggling, clicking catch directly to the waterfront stalls. You, the customer, can point to the crabs you want. A price is agreed upon with some good-natured haggling, and then your chosen crabs are handed to one of the women tending a row of steaming pots right on the seawall. The classic way to eat it is Kep crab with Kampot pepper. The sweet, succulent crab meat is stir-fried in a rich, savory sauce made with the green, immature peppercorns from the nearby farms of Kampot. Sitting on a rickety platform over the waves, pulling apart a crab with your bare hands, the sauce dripping down your chin as the sun sets over the Gulf of Thailand. We've journeyed from the forgotten temples of the north to the elephant-filled hills of the east, from the salt pans of the coast to the dolphin pools of the Mekong. This is a country that rewards curiosity. It's a place where the best experiences are often unscripted. It's a nation that has been through hell and back. Yet its spirit remains unbroken, its smiles genuine, and its food unapologetically delicious. To truly discover this Cambodia, you have to be willing to get a little lost. Put away the phone, ditch the rigid itinerary, and let the day unfold. Follow the sound of music, the smell of something delicious cooking, the recommendation of a tuk-tuk driver. Talk to people, learn a few words of Khmer, share a smile. You'll find that a little effort goes a long way, opening doors to experiences that you could never plan. The real souvenirs are not the trinkets you buy, but the stories you collect and the connections you make. But with this adventure comes a responsibility. Travel with respect. These are not just destinations, they are people's homes, sacred sites and fragile ecosystems. Support local communities by staying in homestays, eating at family-run restaurants, and hiring local guides. Ask before you take someone's picture. Dress modestly when visiting temples. Be a guest, not a conqueror. So go. Go beyond the stones. Go find the bamboo train, the sacred river, the quiet islands, and the bustling markets. And Cambodia, if you let it, will absolutely change you.